Welcome to Elevated Wisdom, where we transcend and go beyond the subconscious. Welcome to Elevated Wisdom, where we transcend and go beyond the subconscious. Welcome to Elevated Wisdom, where we transcend and go beyond the subconscious.
Oh man, I'm doing great. I love my life. Life is good. I got no complaints. And even if I did, I'm not gonna listen to them because everything in my life is good. All is well. Everything's working for my highest good. No, but I'm excited because I've recently put together a journal, The Journey Inward, a journal of self-exploration. And it pushed me to do things that I believed I couldn't, things that I would not do, and it showed me that I am more than capable to make those decisions and take the steps to change my life in the direction that I want, to live a life that I am worthy of and that I deserve to. So, very excited about that. What about yourself? What's been going on? Well, first, I want to say it's okay. So what I did want them to realize it's not a book per se, but it is an actual journal. It's 124 pages, and in there it is has multiple things about life, uh, your perspective on life, discovering yourself, strengths, weaknesses, personality, your interests, dreams, goals. Um, we go into your well-being, your emotional state, your mental, as well as self-care, what it
Mm.
looks like, how much do you need? We also discuss relationships with yourself, which is very important, with others, and also reconnecting with your inner child, right?
Mm.
That's a very big one that we don't necessarily discuss or think about, but it's very essential with growth and your discovery of self.
Mm.
And we also have some mindfulness, gratitude, tools, techniques, journaling, and affirmation sections where you can go in there and kind of make your own affirmations up. Journal about anything that's going on. It doesn't necessarily have to be what you're working on at that particular moment. And through that, we have quotes throughout the book from Alan Watts, the Ram Dass, Nietzsche, myself. I've quite a Carl Jung. I have quite a bit of people
Mm.
of quotes that resonated specifically with the topic that is in that chapter that you're dealing in that journey. The quotes will relate to that really were impactful for me. So I'm sure they will do the same for you. But
Mm.
obviously, when you create things, you're creating something that's beneficial for you. And I myself truly believe I am no different than any other person, right?
Yeah.
We are all experiencing things maybe at different times,
Mm.
but we're experiencing the same thing, and it is called life, right? The human experience.
Mm.
How we take certain situations, our perspective may change, but the actual human experience in itself is the same for all of us. It's how we see it, it's how we react to it, right?
Mm.
That's what will change. So this thing has definitely helped me. We're gonna go through it. We're gonna discuss things. I'll point out things that were meaningful to myself, and then next week we're gonna start working through it. Me and intoxicated DJ. We're gonna sit down and you know be vulnerable
Yeah.
and sit down and actually take our time and go through some of this. And I hope you guys get the courage or are excited to kind of take the same challenge to know yourself, right?
Mm-hmm. Indeed, indeed. No, thank you for one, Immortal. Thank you for pointing out that you couldn't hear my mic. I fixed that. Thank you so much. And at the beginning, I spoke, really just gave a quick introduction. Most of you guys know who I am. Most of you guys know my partner right here next to me, Ahmad Jermaine. And you heard his words just now. What I wanted to bring in is the fact of basically following what he was just saying about being vulnerable. And I'm thankful that I'm able to show one, the fact that we're all, no matter the stage of healing, things are going to happen in life that requires us to utilize the tools that we have acquired throughout life. And so, I feel very honored to, one, be able to do this live with Ahmad Jermaine, actually work through the tool that he has been able to create and bring forward for everybody to get, to receive, and show the people how it can be utilized for one, but how it can also work for someone. It doesn't mean you have to do it exactly the way we do it, but you can see how one or two people can do it, why they do it, and what are the results that they're getting from set tool. And so, something for me that I'm battling with right now is my ability to monitor what I put in my mouth, the sustenance that I'm placing into my body, and the outcome of that has been diabetes. So, with that, I am now at a place in my diabetic journey that I require medications simply because I have not been able to monitor my actions when it comes to the food. So, I'll be utilizing these tools and the books as we continue to work on how to implement actions, thoughts, and a community of support where I can make this change in an actual real time for myself to experience and for you guys to experience it with me if you so choose to. So I'm very excited to get it, really dive deep into this journal with Ahmad, but that is coming up next. I think to get into the tool, one must understand what the tool is and how was it designed. Also, just because it was designed in one particular way doesn't mean that's exactly what you have to do. So I will be asking questions on what are the possibilities or what are some of the other ways that we can utilize this book or do what this book is or this journal is asking us. I apologize. It's not a book, it's a journal. You just heard it from Ahmad. So these are some of the things that are going to be touching while you're explaining and you're giving the creative background of the process. I will step in with those kind of questions, my own personal questions, and how we can go through that. So without further ado, what got you to say, I want to do this book or this journal?
I had a couple of journals at the house. I have a Igagi journal,
Mm,
which is kind of a Japanese thing where they take all facets of life to make a good life, and they it's almost like the flower, right? The flower of life
mm-hmm,
in a sense, and they take a piece from each portion of your life, and you have to combine them with balance to have a good life. So
mm,
after going through that and reading it, I was like, well, shit. Excuse my language, but I was like, man, I could do something like this. And I already put something together with quotes. Then we put something together with a more of a program structured thing. So I was like, why not kind of throw something all together on all aspects that have helped me on my journey so far, right?
mm,
So that was a big step for me. Just saying I want to do it, and then it was actually taking the steps to start doing it, right?
mm,
So, but yeah, the quotes themselves, that's what kind of helped me on start the journey for me is the quotes allow me to slow down my own thoughts and really start thinking in reality, not in my own head.
mm,
Because in my own head wasn't really what was happening. Those were insecurities, fears, and lack, right? It wasn't what actually is present at the time. So quotes have been a big part of what have helped me because they speak to me. And it's crazy to say it, but they speak to me on a soul level.
mm,
It's not just like a conversation, somebody saying something. It's actually moving me. It's actually resonating at a level that my whole body is embodying. It's like, oh, I see that point. Oh, but it also makes me stop and reflect on what is that person saying in the quote, but what does the quote mean to me?
mm,
And am I along the same lines or am I totally different? And then it's then it goes into a whole nother structure of thinking, right? Like,
mm,
What is this person trying to say? What am I trying? How am I trying to interpret it? What does it mean to me? And what awareness is it stirring in my own evolution, right? In my own thought process, in my own being. So that was a big thing, that meant for that was going on with me. So
Mm.
the first quote that I have in the book, as soon as you pull it open, or the journal, I should say,
Mm. I got you
I
sitting
don't
the
know.
book. Sorry.
I know. I was journal. Now I'm saying,
Yeah.
but the first quote. Do you have it pulled up, or
Yeah,
are
let
you
me
gonna
bring
pull
it.
it up, or no?
I do. So is can you starts with can you?
Yeah, there it is. So
Yeah.
the first quote. No. Right, the the very first page.
Oh, very
Not
first
that
page.
one.
Okay.
Keep going back. The very first page.
Yeah. Oh shit. It's a little delayed, but I got you.
That
It's
one
a
right here.
yeah.
Okay. So this one, the significance of this quote is to make the person think, whoever has the journal, the deity is within you, not the books. Truth is lived, not taught. So what it's saying is your truth and the person that you can lean on to get you through any obstacle in life is already within you. You don't need to go to any other books. You don't need to go to a religion. You don't need to, it's in you. If you are still enough and you believe in yourself, all the answers you're searching for is in you. So the whole point of this one is to empower the reader, to already let you know
Mm.
the person you've been searching for, the answers you seek, you have them. You just have to believe and be still enough to listen.
Mm.
So I hope that that grabs people's attention and gets them excited, because everything we need to know, everything we are searching for, every lesson is already within us. We've been through it, we've done it. We just have to pay attention.
Mm.
Okay? So that was the significance of that initial quote.
Okay. Now let me ask
Obviously, the
you.
next page goes into the breakdown of the structure
Mm, before
of
we
everything.
before we move forward, I want to ask you something, and it kind of relates to this, right? And so, what what was the spark that brought this on for you? What helped you see this quote, realize what you just explained, and believe in it?
Well, it's part of that process. So for me, I believe in reincarnation. I
Okay.
do believe you sit down before you come back,
Mm.
and you basically chart out the lessons in life and the things you want to learn.
Mm.
And with that, if that is the case, and if I am already a light being
Mm.
from the source energy, therefore I am a creator in myself, a lot of the trivial things I have no longer to fear, right?
Mm.
Life, death, those are all illusion aspects.
Mm.
I'm just here to experience the things that I need to evolve my soul. So if I can detach from the body and not take on as if I am just the body,
Mm.
and I realize that energy cannot be destroyed, it can only be transmuted. And if I believe in reincarnation, then what am I afraid of?
Mm.
What are all these things that have terrified me? Well, it was a lot of it was programming, right? A lot of it is what I was told I should believe, and that will go into this next quote coming up by Charles Bosovics.
Okay, one second. Let me pull it up real
And
quick.
so that was the part that made me say I can let go of some of this fear. And then the second part to that was trusting myself, right?
Mm.
So, but that goes into this quote right here.
Mm-hmm.
Can you remember who you were before the world told you who you should be?
Mm.
And that hits completely on your programming from your parents, grandparents, the school institutions, your jobs, career moves. I mean, anything in society right now, it's almost like a hive mind, right? We ask so many people, what should we do?
Mm-hmm.
When deep down in our core, our fiber, we know what we should do. But we're scared to disappoint. We're scared to upset. We're scared to look different. We're scared to be the odd man out, the black sheep, right?
Yeah.
But in reality, that's what you're here to do is to be that black sheep and to be authentically you. That's the whole point of this experience is to be you.
Mm.
You can't be anybody else but you. Everybody else is already taken by themselves. So
Very true.
that was a big point for me and why that quote was significant because most of us are, in a sense, asleep. We're sleepwalking and we don't
Mm.
even realize it, by societal expectations to programming, certain institutional things. Us that have been in the military, I would say, in a sense, you know, we have the same, at times, we've had the same mindset that maybe a prisoner would. I've never been in prison, so I don't know, but I can only assume because it's a similar institution, just like a
Mm.
school. And with that, what do they have? They have rules. Specific times you can do this. You can wear specific things. You have to all look the same for the most part. So, and the whole point of all those institutions is to take away what? Your
Your identity.
individuality, your authenticity, right?
Yeah.
So,
Wear the same hair, wear the same thing, do that, yeah, say the
yeah.
same stuff, learn the same things. No, I hear ya.
So
Mm.
that was a quote that was significant for me because that was one of the first quotes that made me be like, damn. Like I had to take a minute and really think. And even when I read it now, I still have to sit back and be like, shit,
Mm.
like it's powerful
Yeah.
because we don't take that time to ever think about things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I love these quotes because it always puts me in a point where I have a different perspective
Mm.
and it allows me to obtain a different mindset and also look at how I'm living my life and how can I now apply that quote to further enhance my life.
Mm.
So,
I do enjoy quotes for the similar power, right? It's a something that is minimal words that provides a very impactful message, transformative message if I choose it to be. And so for that, I really do enjoy uh, that aspect of quotes, right? This fact that it's small and powerful. Now, with that, you have said quite a few names here, and for some people they may know who they are, for some don't. Did you have to do a lot of research to get these ideas, these fundamental ideas, to get you to where you're at, or did you feel like that came from within you automatically?
I started with quotes back in like really hitting quotes the end of 22, but I
Mm.
got into them in about 2023. And a lot of the videos I create are based off of quotes. Obviously, this
French
journal is.
fry,
I
love
have some
ye.
other workbooks and books coming out that's coming soon that will also incorporate that. But I do think it's something that's in me
Mm.
because it has depth. It's not so surface level
Ooh, did we lose you?
quotes.
Oh.
It's non. It's like anybody can interpret it how you interpret it.
Mm.
There's no one set meaning to it, but it's however it provokes the soul, right? It's whatever stirs that fire in you
Mm.
to make you want to question something. Um, so for me to put these quotes in here, it's just quotes that I have dealt with over the last 3 years that meant something to me on my journey so
Mm.
far. So that's why I put them in there because yeah, again, this was something that was important to me to put it in, and all the questions in the journey in the journal as well are questions that I have asked myself at some point, and I needed that clarity. I needed a better understanding of myself. I needed better self awareness, and through that
Mm.
self awareness is where I started taking the journey of self discovery.
Here's a unpopular question of that journey of self-discovery. What were some of the challenging things that arose from beginning this journey of self-discovery for you? For example, for me, right, the one of the challenges was seeing how focusing on my life and on me cut ties with certain people in my life or created tensions with certain people in my life, because now what we used to fight about or what I used to get mad about, I no longer felt the need to feed into those things. And so those people were still accustomed of getting in, so you know what I mean, and then it created those issues for me. The relationships became difficult when I focused on myself. What about you?
I think the hardest part for me was just in the beginning, understanding, which I already knew, but was the acceptance and taking accountability for the life that I was living.
Mm.
The prison I put myself, the mental prison I was in, I chose to be in there. No one did it.
Mm.
So I had to accept that responsibility, and I had to understand that there was no one else that could get me out of there but myself.
Mm.
And I had to trust myself and love aspects of myself that I hid and didn't want people to see, to then incorporate those the shadow work, those darker sides of me for it to be okay. So when I ran into this situation you did with, as far as the happen to let certain people go because of boundaries,
Mm.
it wasn't difficult for me to do that because I had already made up with myself. I had already became my best friend, because the reason I went in that prison, the mental prison, was because I wasn't authentically being me. I was shielding the parts of me, and then those other parts were acting out. And
Mm.
therefore, it's almost like you have a multiple personality, but in reality, it wasn't. It's just I wasn't completely being me. I wasn't being whole. I wasn't being honest. I wasn't being truthful. And it's amazing what the body will do to get your attention. And it's amazing how powerful the mind is and
Yeah,
what it will make you believe.
sure
So
will. That's a great point, right? In the idea that why do we feel like we're in a prison? Because our real selves is literally in a meat prison. And we hide or we shove that idea of who we are within this meat prison, and we act how we believe others want us to act. And for me, it speaks volumes, right? Because that makes sense to me. I always felt that way, similar to what you explained, because of the same reason. I've always been the outgoing one, the this, the that. but inside it was, I made it hell for me. I made myself believe that it was so difficult for me. It took all the energy out of me, that it didn't come naturally to me. All these things. So that in itself was so difficult. When I finally accepted, it wasn't as draining, I guess, right? When I allowed myself to be myself, I didn't feel like I needed to go home and take a 12-hour nap because I wasn't acting like someone else, someone that I thought somebody needed me to be. I was just being me, and that doesn't take any extra energy out of me because I'm naturally me. So I definitely do understand and can empathize with the with that idea. The other thing that I had for you is now how you spoke about fear and all these things through your self exploration journey. What is it that you tell yourself, or what is it that pushes you past that fear, that uncertainty, to write the book, to publish a book, to public speak, to do these things that you're doing now? What was that factor for you that pushed you over the edge?
Well, um, one is if you keep doing the same thing, right, you're
Mm,
gonna get the same results.
mm,
I don't want the same results. I deserve better results. I deserve what I want. I want to experience certain things. Two, if all of this is an illusion and life is truly a game, why am I not playing the game?
mm.
Why am I being scared to in Monopoly? If I want to buy the property, I buy the property. I don't sit here and dwell like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if this is gonna happen. I gotta do this and this. No, in Monopoly, you just buy it and you play because you know it's a game, right?
Yeah.